What's good, my ninja? This is a Warframe discussion about Zephyr, her abilities, and ways she could be improved. Light-footed and graceful, the beautiful and deadly Zephyr is in her element while airborne. With the power to bend air currents, she is an agile sky terror who delivers swift judgment from above. While the description sounds great, the execution leaves much to be desired. Zephyr is something of a bird with no direction, with some of the most useless abilities next to Hydroid.
Hey.
Zephyr's Axiom construction makes her one of the lightest of all frames, which matches well with its avian theme. This works out for Zephyr's passive, which gives the frame longer airtime. However, Zephyr's real issue is her abilities, how they work, and how ineffective they seem to be at higher levels. Tailwind is a travel power that either launches Zephyr vertically in the air from the ground or horizontal if in the air. It functions better in outside maps like some of the exterior tile sets where there is more vertical headroom, but it is a poor ability on inside tile sets like the Grineer Galleon. On the Grineer Galleon, it'll be ineffective through half of the rooms. While the ability does cause knockdown on enemies surrounding Zephyr, the damage appears to be minimal, and that's a problem. Naturally, as a 1, it's supposed to be weak, but even a weak ability should be effective enough to be spammed repeatedly in the worst case scenario. Tailwind does best as an invasion move or a travel power. Possible fixes: 8-way flight. Distance based on mods. 8-way flight would extend the ability's usage by allowing Zephyr to travel equally in all directions, even backwards, while still performing the knockdown damage to surrounding enemies. It could also be added as a syndicate mod to that base ability, so it doesn't have to be altered much. True flight. True flight would extend the effectiveness of Tailwind by not only allowing for full 8-way movement, it would also allow Zephyr to hover at the end of Tailwind, at the cost of energy for however long it is used. Turbulence, aka Bullet Sponge. Turbulence is a defensive ability that deflects incoming bullet and projectiles away from Zephyr. It doesn't work against rockets, flames, or explosive splash damage. Turbulence is effective against most grunts at any level and against weapons that don't deal secondary damage. So this helps balance it out so that it's not over or underpowered. As a defensive ability and with its Syndicate Augment Jetstream, I wouldn't do anything to change it. Dive Bomb. Dive Bomb is a third ability, the Flying Turd or Falling One depending on how you look at it. As a 3, Dive Bomb works by sending you plummeting to the ground head, beak first, causing a heavy impact. The ability does more damage depending on the height you fall from. So to maximize the ability's usage, Tailwind or Double Jump works best. The only problem that I can see with Dive Bomb, and this is my opinion, is that it only works in the air. A low-level jump isn't going to do much damage, and on certain tile sets, max damage output will be capped because of low ceilings. It looks cool and sounds great, but for the most part it's nothing more than an energy-costing version of Heavy Impact. In my opinion, this ability couldn't be more useless. I get the point of it, but like Super Jump and the Orican, Dive Bomb needs to be extinct. Possible fixes. I would opt for a complete replacement, similar to Super Jump. The ability I propose would be what I call Wind Blast. Others have proposed variations of this theme. Zephyr would emit a short-range wind blast that deflects bullets, beams, and rockets. It's like an extension of Turbulence with full offensive capability, but it's not always on. Wind Blast would ragdoll enemies with the immediate area of effect. Its damage output would be low, but does both point of contact damage and impact damage. Ability can be elemental procced with various syndicate mods, any syndicate mod that gives Zephyr an element buff. Energy use is increased if Turbulence is active. Wind Blast is effective enough but does low enough damage to be a 1, while Tailwind could be placed as a 3. Or Dive Bomb. Instead of an actual ability, make it a syndicate mod while replacing the power with something useful. Out of all of Zephyr's abilities, Tornado is my favorite. It's not the most effective, it doesn't have the best range, It's not even the most powerful of ultimate fourth abilities. It's just a lot of fun casting it in a small room and then watching enemies get sucked through the little funnel clouds all the way to the top taking damage. Or when it starts out blue, but then you start adding fire effects, so now any enemy sucked in is on fire, plus they're still being spun up to the top of the ceiling. To me, that's a fun ability. It's useful, I love it. I can't really say anything bad about it. The only thing I do is up the damage a little bit, just a little bit, because it doesn't scale well at higher levels. It does okay. If anything, it's useful for controlling a crowd, but not taking out a crowd. But still, it's a great ability, and it's probably the most effective thing that Zephyr has. So yeah, I'd say just leave that one alone. Roles. One task that Zephyr excels at is being a long-range anti-sniper frame. The ability to utilize tailwind on exterior tile sets while being able to ward off sniper fire with turbulence makes her perfect for long-range support. While not as tough as other frames at close range, Zephyr's ability to dash in and out works out well for excavation and interception maps. In close quarters, Tornado is an excellent crowd control ability, even if its damage doesn't scale well into in-game. Zephyr works best when the sky is the limit. Zephyr is a fun frame in the hands of a skilled player, but her abilities can be brought more in line with her theme of an avian sky terror, which would work best for those seeking total air superiority. But I'd like to hear your thoughts. Do you think Zephyr would benefit from a rework, and what changes would you make to her? Leave a comment below, like, share, and subscribe. Peace, my ninja. Stay awesome. Thanks for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like the video, please hit the like button below. It really helps us out. Leave any comments and I'll do my best to respond to them. I do put out new videos every Wednesday and Friday, so go subscribe and remember, stay awesome.